because I can call my mom.
So, and I don't know how this all works, but they currently have a $30,000 reward to get him brought back into custody. I don't know.
Show me your hand. Show me your fucking hand.
Yeah, that's the world she came out of.
On October 1st, 2025, U.S. Marshals tracked a federal fugitive to a residence in Reynolds, Georgia, where he was found hiding in the closet of a sitting city council member. The homeowner had been informed on camera of the suspect's identity, his double murder conviction, and the existence of a judicial warrant before she denied he was inside. That sequence of events is the legal core of this case.
Who's on that side of the house?
Jace.
Everybody come down here. Who's on that side of the house?
Trent, we got people on the other side?
Yeah.
I have a reason to believe that he was staying here in this house last night.
No,
Because his daughter brought him up.
my sister.
Sorry, there's been a lot of names going on. Joetta?
That's my sister.
That's your sister?
Uh-huh.
When's the last time you saw her?
I saw my sister yesterday.
Was he with her?
No, it was my other sister with her.
Who's your other sister?
Tanisha.
Anisha?
Uh-huh.
So you haven't heard, so he's not your dad, then?
No, my dad lives in Butler, Georgia.
Alright, so he's supposed to be in prison for murdering two people. He's supposed to be serving a life sentence in prison. He was released on accident, okay, by a different facility that he was visiting at, and he's obviously supposed to be in prison.
Outside, we left the house.
Yeah, so you said there's no one else inside?
No.
Not that I don't believe you. Yeah, not that I don't believe you, so there's no case shut.
Oh, no. Everybody see?
Nobody here, right? Okay. Okay.
Any dogs or anything like that?
I don't have
thought
a
I heard
dog.
a dog.
I don't have a dog.
Alright, so what did you say your other sister's name was?
Tanisha.
How you
That's
spell
not
that?
her dad either.
It's not?
No.
But she was with Joetta?
Yeah, they went to Macon.
They went to Macon?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you know what they were doing in Macon?
No, I have other people that live in Macon.
What other family?
Angela.
But that would be not
My
his
mom.
family.
No, my mom's brother.
Your mom's brother.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be honest, I don't have all of I have a lot of information, but as far as like who's related to who, I don't have that because I just found out about this today. Because they're working the case out of Miami because that's where he was supposed to be in prison.
Right.
So they called me this morning and said we need you to come to this house because they thought he was here.
It's in my room over there.
Where's your car at?
My daughter's in it.
Your daughter's in it? Okay, what's her name?
Tamari Saunders.
Timari Saunders? Okay. Alright, so how you spell Tanisha's name?
T-A.
T-A-T-O.
T-O. N-I-S-A.
N-I-S-A. And her last name is Daniels?
Tillman.
Tillman?
No.
Does she have a son?
My sister don't have anything.
Okay. And then you said your daughter's name is
Tamari.
Timari? How you spell that?
K-I.
K-I.
Let me shake it.
Yeah, we're not trying to scare you. Sorry about that. Okay.
You got my phone. I can't hear you.
Are you the only one that has access to this phone? So, I know he called this number back in June. A couple of times. Yeah.
That's why I didn't know.
Yeah. So, but other than it being, so that would be your half-sister's dad? Is that right? Okay. What, you don't have any kind of relationship with him?
I've been raised me when I was a kid.
Okay. So you haven't talked to him since he's been out?
I haven't talked to him since he got now. I've just talked to my mom.
What did she say anything about it?
My mom is in here.
Okay. Because obviously it's not. Yeah. He's not being charged with anything new, right? Like there's no new charges, and And the way it works is it's called a technical escape. So he was released in error, is what it's called. So he was supposed to be serving a life sentence with the Bureau of Prisons on the Fed side. He got brought back for some state charges that were dismissed, and instead of returning him to the Bureau of Prisons, they released him to the street. No one's saying he escaped or anything like that. But we have an order signed by a judge, a warrant signed by a judge to pick him up and take him back to the Bureau of Prisons. Yeah. Where's the phone?
Because I can call my mom.
So, and I don't know how this all works, but they currently have a $30,000 reward to get him brought back into custody. I don't know.
Show me your hand. Show me your fucking hand.
Hey,
Show me your hand.
show me your hand. Both of them right now. Both of them. All the way the fuck out.
Hey, put her in cuffs.
Push your hands right back.
Come on out here. Where'd you see that?
Right there. By the door over there.
Okay, I'll get him for you in a second.
Okay.
They got somebody in there. Will you stand here with her so I get her shoes? I'm gonna put her in my car.
Now we got another.
I told you he had the arrest warrant. You told me he's not in there. You hadn't seen him. You didn't come up here with your sister. So you sat here and lied to my face and my camera. Why?
Issue 1. Warrant authority and Fourth Amendment compliance. Officers stated they possessed a warrant before entering the residence. Under Payton v. New York 445 U.S. 573, 1980, an arrest warrant authorizes entry into the suspect's own dwelling when officers have reason to believe he is present. However, this was not the suspect's home. Under Steagall v. United States 451 U.S. 204, 1981, an arrest warrant for a fugitive does not authorize entry into a third party's residence. A separate search warrant, or exigent circumstances, is required. If the warrant in hand was solely an arrest warrant, the entry may be legally vulnerable. Warrant type must be confirmed through public records. Issue 2. Obstruction and harboring liability. Under 18 U.S.C. Section 1071, knowingly concealing a person for whose arrest a federal warrant has been issued is a federal felony, carrying up to 5 years when the underlying offense carries a sentence of 1 year or more. Both elements are documented on camera. Officers advised the homeowner of the warrant and the murder convictions before she denied his presence, which eliminates a lack of knowledge defense. Under O.C.G.A. Section 16-1024, willfully obstructing a law enforcement officer constitutes a misdemeanor or a felony if accompanied by intimidation or violence. O.C.G.A. Section 16-1050 additionally prohibits false statements to prevent the arrest of a known offender. Prosecutors will have 3 parallel charging pathways. Issue 3. Miranda and pre-arrest statements. The extended porch interview occurred before any formal arrest, and no Miranda advisement was captured during this phase. Under Miranda v. Arizona 384 U.S. 4436, 1966, the advisement obligation triggers upon custodial interrogation, defined as questioning under conditions a reasonable person would not feel free to leave. With armed federal agents surrounding the residence, a court could find the porch interview was custodial in nature. If so, the homeowner's on-camera denials may face admissibility challenges under the Fifth Amendment. Issue 4. Probable cause for the homeowner's arrest. Under Ornelas v. United States, 517 U.S. 690, 1996, probable cause requires facts sufficient for a reasonable officer to believe an offense was committed. The Bodycam provides that foundation directly. A documented false denial, after documented advisement, by a person with a confirmed familial connection to the suspect. Probable cause for both state obstruction and federal harboring appears well supported by the footage alone. Issue 5. Interagency charging jurisdiction. The lead marshal acknowledged that federal agents require judicial authorization for a probable cause arrest, unlike local officers who may effect warrantless PC arrests at the scene. The solution: charge at the state level first to hold the homeowner within the 72-hour window, then layer federal charges after U.S. attorney review, reflects standard USMS task force coordination and is legally sound. Use of force assessment. No lethal or less lethal force was deployed. Officers progressed through the use of force continuum appropriately. Presence, verbal commands, then physical control upon suspect discovery. Under Graham versus Connor, 490 U.S. 386, 1989, all three governing factors, severity of the crime, immediacy of threat, and active resistance, justified an elevated response. The suspect was a convicted double murderer with no incentive to surrender peacefully.
And it's still cleaning the house up.
Still cleaning the house?
Still hold it. They're almost done, but they still ain't bothered.
I'm not going nowhere.
So, I'm gonna try to get, with his, especially with him hiding like that, I don't want to put him in the back of my car and take him to Macon. Is there somewhere y'all feel we can hold him just temporarily until, I'll get somebody down here with a cage, and we'll take him up to wherever we got to, and see if we can, get him squared away. And then as far as her,
I was very foolish. Very foolish.
I think she should go to jail.
I agree.
I can't charge her, so I can go try to get I can get a Fed warrant for her, but it won't be today.
Okay.
So,
We got 72 hours. We can hold her at jail.
okay. If y'all will, I guess hold her, and it would be I would say hindering, and then I'll get with the AUSA and see what they want to do. Just because I can do a complaint warrant, but it's not a quick process.
Right.
I don't have the ability to. I wish I did, where I could just see someone arrest them and take them to jail and see a judge.
Right.
It's a much. I basically have to get a judge's permission to make a PC arrest.
Well, can a probate magistrate judge do that, or?
What do you mean? Well, so no. If y'all can,
sign it.
yeah, if y'all will charge her at the state level, I can come back and do the fed charge.
Okay. Yeah, I'll charge her at the state level.
Okay. Is that the city council member? I thought she was from the older people.
Yeah.
All right, let me call Florida.
Say what?
You about to talk to him?
No.
I can talk to him.
Miss Ruby?
I couldn't want to know what the hell's going on.
Yep. That's Miss Ruby. Hey, Miss Ruby.
Hey.
How are you?
How you doing, ma'am, sir?
All right.
So, your neighbor across the street was hiring a guy who escaped from custody for murder.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. This guy killed 2 people in the state of Florida. He tried to kill 3, but 1 survived. The other 2 died. Okay? He got accidentally let out. She lied to us after we told her what he was wanted for. After we identified who we were, she said he was not inside. So we went inside to check because we had a warrant. We found him hiding in her closet. So that's your city councilwoman? That's what she does. She lied to the U.S. Marshals to hide out a guy who killed 2 innocent people. Tried to kill 3. That's why her ass is sitting over there right now in handcuffs. We locking her ass up too. Excuse me for cursing, but that's the type of danger she put us in. This guy's going to prison for life. He's already been sentenced. So he could have been sitting there with a gun waiting to kill somebody else because he might have said, it ain't my fucking day to go back to jail. So that's what she's doing. Now she wants to sit over there playing innocent. It don't work that way.
I know something bad for them to have all these guns
So
hanging around here.
that's,
I keep my high drop.
that's what's going on here. That's why she's sitting out here in handcuffs. And that's why we brought as many people as we did.
Oh, okay.
Because he is a danger. If he's willing to kill 3 people,
Yes,
then a few more won't make that big of a difference.
exactly.
So that's what's going on.
Oh,
We didn't know if someone that came over and told you, because if you was my grandmama or granddaddy, I want y'all to know what's going on.
oh, okay.
So
So,
that's-
I try to watch out for her because I know she was a sickly person,
Well,
But
she ain't sickly.
But yeah,
She ain't sickly.
But you know what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
had a siege and stuff, so
Right.
you know, I
Well,
would
she
make
also-
sure she was okay.
She also had line of the tongue disease
Well,
too.
she got the line of the tongue. I know that line of the tongue disease. I know she had a seizure, so you know.
But that's what's going on your street.
Okay, I appreciate
Once we
it.
get everything clear, we're gonna be gone.
Okay.
And hopefully you never have to see us again unless it's a way. How you doing to keep it moving?
I'm glad this over with then, cause I didn't know this was going on this close to me.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
my.
All right, Miss Ruby.
All right, thank
Good to
you.
see you.
Grading. U.S. Marshal, A-. Professional, methodical, and legally documented throughout. Building probable cause on camera before executing the warrant is a practice that significantly strengthens prosecution. However, tactical positioning during the porch interview left officers partially exposed to an uncleared interior known to contain an armed murderer, and the absence of a Miranda advisement during pre-arrest questioning is a procedural gap that defense counsel will exploit. Homeowner, City Council Member, D. After receiving explicit notice of a warrant, 2 murder convictions, and federal criminal liability, she provided a false denial documented on camera. No credible knowledge defense survives the footage. Her elected status is legally irrelevant to the criminal charge but carries significant and collateral consequences. Georgia law permits removal of convicted felons from elected office, meaning political accountability will run parallel to the criminal process. Taylor County Sheriff's Office, B+. Appropriate perimeter maintenance, custodial support without jurisdictional overreach, and useful flexibility on state-level charging. No unnecessary force was observed. Deduction for insufficient confirmation of warrant type prior to execution, a gap that carries potential Fourth Amendment exposure. Key takeaways. First, warrant type controls constitutionality of entry. An arrest warrant alone does not authorize entry into a third party's home under Steagall. Second, on-camera advisement is double-edged. It eliminated the homeowner's knowledge defense and built the prosecution record, but simultaneously raised the Miranda custody question. Third, elected status amplifies consequences. Equal protection requires identical criminal treatment, but conviction triggers removal proceedings no ordinary citizen faces. Fourth, federal agents operate under tighter arrest authority than local officers. Understanding jurisdictional limits before an operation prevents both procedural failure and unlawful detention. At the time of this analysis, charges against the homeowner remain unconfirmed through public records. Case status is unknown. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like discussed in the comments below. Thank you for watching.